Hi everyone and welcome back to 5 Minute Family Search. So what I would like to teach you now are record hints. And this is found on the person's page, as I showed you earlier of how to get to. And over here on the right hand side, we see this here called record hints. Now if there were more record hints, they would all be listed out here and we can click show details and it would have all of them listed here that we could go through. Sometimes there's one, sometimes there can be seven or more than that, but they would all be listed out there for you to click on. And so I am just going to go ahead and click on this one. And I just click on Felidas's name and it's going to pull up the box. And I am actually going to scroll down a little bit to put that more in the middle of the screen. So here is his name, and it is spelled differently. When the indexers go in and index, sometimes it is hard to read people's names, and so sometimes there are problems there. You do not need to worry about it because those are already on the government record. They will be pulled into Family Search, but it doesn't change the information. It just adds that information into his record. And so here we can see it was a census report from the 1920s. That's what this is telling us right here. It happened in Oklahoma. He's male. He was 69 at the time. He was married. He's white. He could read. He could write. He was the head of the household and he rented. Let's see, he was born in 1851 in Pennsylvania. I'm going to keep scrolling down. His birthplace, his father's birthplace, his mother's birthplace. If you keep scrolling down, there's going to be more information that comes up. Pretty much everything that was covered up here, and then it just gets down into the logistics of the actual census report that you don't need to worry about. But what you do want to look at is down here at the bottom, you'll see there's options. There's review and attach, not a match, or view image. If I wanted to go and actually look at this image and see what it looked like, I could click view image. Sometimes you'll have that option, sometimes you won't, but if it is available, you'll be able to click there and see it. If it's not a match, like you look at that and you're like, no, this is definitely not the same person, you can just click not a match and then that will disappear. But for us, it is the same person. So I am going to click on this blue button right here that says review and attach. Now when it comes to this, this is what's going to come up on your screen. This over here on the left side is the census report. Over here on the right side is family tree. So this information that's on the left side is going to be merged into the family tree when you make those changes. So when we scroll down here, we can see at the top of the record it says Felidus Nichols, Felidus Nichols. This says he was born in 1851. This says 1850. We know it's the same person, so we're not too confused. And you know, those birth years are going to be a little bit off of a year like that just because of when they did the census report. If he had already turned to the next year, if he was still, like I said, just disregard that. Don't even worry about it. The information that it wants to add here is that he lived in Oklahoma and that was one of his residents. So I'm going to click add. So now it has scooted it over to the right hand side and it's made it into family tree. Now if I messed up, I can just say, oh, I didn't mean to do that, and I just click undo. So never be scared to go ahead and click on that because there's always recourse where you can take it back off. So now I'm going to keep scrolling down and seeing what else is coming through. So it's going to attach his name, his birth, and that he's male, and I can just click attach. And this is another place that I could say, no, it's not a match. Or I could say, oh goodness, I don't think I want to do this. I'm just going to cancel out. So those are also my options. So right here, I'm going to click attach. So, but let's say you did that and you say, oh no, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. You can just come back through and click detach. And it's going to take it right back apart and it's going to look like it did before you even touched it. So it's not a big deal. So now we're going to go down and we're going to do his wife, Emily Nichols. And we see over here is the same. We're going to click compare. And this is the same thing that it's doing for him. It wants to add that she resided in Oklahoma in 1920. And so we're just going to click add. It's going to move it over to the right hand side. We're going to scroll down. We're going to click attach. And that's all the information that is on that 1920 census report that needs to be merged over into family tree.